There's a test done by a really well-known psychologist, Walter Mischel, which is pretty legendary in psychology. It's called the marshmallow test. It was done at Stanford. Some of you may know it. 4-year-olds from the Bing preschool there were brought in one by one, sat down at a low table, a big juicy marshmallow put there, and the experimenter says to the child, you can have that marshmallow now if you want, but if you don't eat it till I come back from running an errand, you can have 2 then. Then she leaves the room. This is a predicament that tries the soul of any 4-year-old. I have seen video, some go up and lick it and then jump back. Some sing to themselves to distract them. About a third can't stand it. They gobble it down on the spot. And about a third wait the endless 10 minutes or whatever and get 2. The payoff comes 14 years later. The kids are tracked down. And they're tested again, they're assessed again, and something very interesting is discovered, and that is, first of all, the kids who waited still can delay gratification in pursuit of their goals. That's what it clearly is a test of. But they also, on the SAT, had a 210-point advantage over the other kids out of 1,600. I told this to the people at Princeton that make up that test. They were stunned. They said, that's bigger than the difference we see between kids whose parents have only an elementary school education and those whose parents, or at least one parent, has an advanced degree. It's a stunning difference, but they're all the children of people at Stanford. So what's going on? I think it's this cognitive control. Cognitive control turns out to be an independent factor from intelligence itself, and I'll tell you why in a sec. There was another study done, published much more recently, in New Zealand, where children in a city, kind of a Berkeley-sized city, every kid born for a year was followed, and between 4 and 8, they were rigorously tested on cognitive control. Then they're tracked down again when they were 32, and they were able to find all of them. Do not try this study in Berkeley, I'm sure. But there, you could do it. And they found that cognitive control predicted these children's financial success and health better than their IQ and better than the socioeconomic status of the family they grew up in. It's extremely important capacity. And the good news is it can be developed. There are a lot of ways to strengthen cognitive control, and I'll tell you about some of the more interesting ones. I went to visit the Sesame Workshop. That's where they write Sesame Street, the home of Big Bird and all of those characters. And the day I was there, the writers were in a meeting with 2 cognitive scientists. And the director tells me, yeah, all of our segments take findings in science, translate them into what a kid needs to know, and wrap them in entertainment. And he told me about a segment that just aired this fall. It was called the Cookie Connoisseur Club. And the Cookie Connoisseur Club was developed by Alan, who runs the store on Sesame Street. And to be a member, you get to, it's like a wine connoisseurs club. You get a cookie and you examine it for any imperfections, then you sniff it, and then you take a little nibble. And of course, Cookie Monster was dying to get in the club. But Cookie Monster could not just nibble, he had to gobble. And Alan wasn't going to let him in. So Cookie struggled with it. Alan finally helped him, and actually, the help was suggested by none other than Walter Mischel, the guy who did the marshmallow test. He said, tell Cookie that if he only nibbles now, he can have all kinds of cookies later. And in fact, that's what did it for Cookie. But what's happening on Sesame Street, remember, this is a show for toddlers. Toddlers learn an immense amount by modeling. And what they're doing is modeling for all the kids watching cognitive control for toddlers. I think that's an ingenious way to do it.